Bossing, skilling, guides. Hey guys, it is Scuzzy. Welcome to another video. This one's going to be Fun with Scuzz episode 12, I believe. Today is February 19th, and this is also part of the Game Jam weekend at Jagex Studios. And they did a lot of stuff today. They revealed a lot of stuff today, and I tried my best to get it all down on a notepad. I'm going to read off of it and try not to sound like I'm reading. And in the background, I'm going to be showing the different pictures that I've taken from the stream. I got the link for the stream in the description, so check that out. But first up, we have Mod Shawnee's buff bars, and this was an update that was really requested. And as you know, most of these are like really requested ones, but this one is like, personally, I think this one's really awesome. The buff bar is going to have a filter in the in-game settings, and it's going to split the good and the bad icons, which is amazing. And it's going to have 18 positive and up to 12 negative, so 30 total. And Mod Shawnee is going to try to be able to separate them into two different ones, so maybe it can be even expanded further. You can see there's an enhanced Excalibur timer and a Dreadnought timer. There's some stun timers, a revenge timer, and some boss debuff timers. You'll now know when you have stacks on you when you're at raids and such, which is actually really amazing. Next up, we have Mod Timbo with his luck rework. The rare drop table items will now be included with normal rare drops at the same time when the rework goes live. If it does, I'm assuming that it does, because this is also another amazing update to the game. The rare drop tables are now going to be bonus drops instead of actual drops, so that's going to be amazing. And Mod Timbo said that it works for every monster, excluding bosses right now, so all the Slayer monsters and stuff. But for bosses, just next at the moment, and I got a couple pictures in the background of that. If you wear the Elite Ring, you can, you no longer get Raw Lobster, Flax, or Molten Glass, things like that, the crappier items from the rare drop table, so you'll no longer get any of those if you're wearing the Elite Ring. And also, with the Elite Ring, it's going to have a 1% increased chance on bosses like Telos and Virago, Araxi, and stuff like that. And it's going to have like a 2 to 3% higher increase on the rare drops for the lower tier bosses. And he said he's planning on finishing up by today, which is awesome. And they said they're going to keep the system of the switch skip, which I believe is just switching at the end of the kill. Now, they mentioned something about having it on for 5 minutes, so I'm not entirely sure, don't quote me on that, but they said they're going to keep whatever they have right now as the switch skip. Next up, we have Mod Shogun with the Slayer mobs. Now, yesterday, Mod Wolf said that the Abyssal Beast will be the level 95, but in fact, they will be the 105. We do have something called Savages. I believe Abyssal Savages are level 95, and you can pretty much relax when you're killing these. It's just going to be like a normal Slayer mob, maybe like Hellhounds or something, where you don't really have to do anything other than sit there and AFK. And then, as we saw yesterday, we have the Abyssal Beasts will be level 105, and then we have the Abyssal Lords, which are level 115. These ones are going to have two effects, and they're planning on adding another minor one. The first minor one that they have right now is the Abyssal Telly, which now does damage as well as doing the teleport. And then the major effect is after hitting an X amount of times, the monster will spawn minions, which are hard hitting and low health minions, so you want to take care of them. But the cool thing is they don't have an insta-kill attack, so that's pretty cool. One thing is, because Mod Wolf had yesterday cheat codes on his account having max HP, that's why they were hitting, the laser beams were hitting the 10,000. Apparently it scales to your life points, and it's not going to be as hard of hitting for that. But all you need to do is walk away from the one space, because apparently the laser is a cleave ability, so just walk away one space and you'll be totally fine. Next up, we have Mod Deg and Mod Raven, which is the penguins in space. And this one was real. I don't know what to think about this one. It's really funny. You're in a ship, and each person gets, a command. And if you don't do the command, then you don't get it right. And apparently, it's supposed to be just very, very chaotic. The second part of this is Beatsmaster Zerpdag fight. It's crazy, and I have multiple pictures because it's like a disco background, and I was a little bit concerned because when you see things like this, you have to be worried about inducing seizures to people. As you can see in the background, some are green, some are blue, and some are red, and it changes kind of weirdly. Like, when they have those warnings, like, this motion picture is gonna, you gotta be careful. It might induce seizures. So that's one of the concerns I have with that. But yeah, so I don't know. It's just a really weird fight. I suggest that you just go watch the video because it's really hard to explain. But next we have Mod Mohawk, which she has done an overlay for the pets, a bunch of pets that were not allowed access to an interface, the ones that are not held. Things like Cresbot, Jadpet, things like that are now going to be in the interface, so that's pretty cool. Next up, we have Mod Neen, which is adding some legacy features to NXT. So there's some features in Java like turning off ground decorations and how we have on the low detail in the Java back in the day. We used to use those. I used to use them to know when, especially for rune crafting, I would like to know where I am in the world and is this the right spot that I'm supposed to be on, etc., etc. So they don't have that in NXT. It's all blended. They wanted to make it really nice looking, but they're taking a step back and looking into that sort of stuff. So what Mod Neen has already worked on is turning off ground decorations, and it looks great. He's going to be working on the harsh squares that I just mentioned later today, and hopefully in the future. Next up, we have Mod Osborne and Mod Lenny. They're going to be working on One Small Favor 2 quest, or a quest similar to it. All technically configured, but it's not finished with the quest, so they probably won't have that done by the end of Game Jam. This stuff is more or less like a proof of concept and demonstration, which they haven't shown, but they did talk about it a little bit. Next, we have Mod Stu with the Heroes quest that he actually finished yesterday, and he's working on another project, a rework on the Imp Catcher quest, looking at the ease of use for playing the quests. So he was looking maybe to make them guaranteed, the beads untradeable. But then he kind of went in and he's like, you know what? Maybe it would be cool to have, you talk with the imp and interact with the imp, and depending on the color bead, you have to talk with the different emotions that they're feeling. So if one is holding a black bead, then maybe he's depressed, and you got to get him through that depression, which is kind of a weird concept, but I think I like it. And yeah, so that's that. Next, we have Mod Osborne and Mod Krista. Again, they show in the background. I have a picture of them showing the fruit quest. The environment, the way it's going to work, the environment is going to change when you examine things in the environment. You get to search the search bar, and let's say you look up, a fruit, and then the fruit appears in the room. Then you right click and examine it, and it'll tell you something about maybe there's a banana in the room as well, and then you can further the storyline. They can use this to really expand, because if they bring something into the game, they want to have some sort of lore with Virago, then you type in Virago and new stuff comes into the game, or into this area, and they can really, really expand on it. Mod Osborne likened it to basically adding Google into RuneScape and seeing what happens. So next we have Mod Ramen and Luke F, and they were working on the Crater rework in Lumbridge, and they moved, basically there was a lava area that wasn't supposed to be there, and also the monkey punch face bonanza, monkey face punch bonanza, something like that, was moved into the Gamer's Grotto. And if you see from the picture on screen, the grass in Lumbridge, they didn't just do the crater. They went and they went into actual Lumbridge to, smooth things out like it used to be. I think they did a really, really good job. Next up, we have Mod Ryan, which he's done skilling outfits without MXT, which is MTX, sorry, microtransactions. And he's done 4 so far. He's done cooking, summoning, divination, and prayer. If you have ecto tokens, you can get the first age outfit piece, a random piece for an X amount of ecto tokens. 5k is the placeholder. They haven't balanced it yet, and that's kind of a lot if you ask me, if you ask a lot of people anyways. Next up is cooking, and you can get that from the Gnome Restaurant if you talk to Captain Ninto and give him the fruit batter. You will get a random piece of the cooking outfit. It's a random chance, it's not guaranteed, but it is more common than the Gnome Scarf. Divination is from cash. The chance of getting from a cash is from earning experience, so it's your best bet to get 100 points. That will give you your best chance to get a piece there. Summonings from familiarization. You can only get it from the summoning box of ingredients, which is kind of a little bit mean because nobody chooses that. They choose the triple charms, but currently you can only get it from the summoning box. And they're not looking to get the modified add-ons at the moment because they want to get the rest of the other skilling outfits that were from the microtransactions into the game. And they're also looking into getting some of the ones that you don't get from microtransactions and putting them into microtransactions. So things like the lumberjack outfit and I guess the fishing outfit. Although technically the fishing outfit's not that great compared to the shark outfit. So next up we have Mod Ollie, Mod Ramen, and Mod Ryan with the Virago quest. They didn't show any teasers, but they did talk about it. So I'm just going to put a picture of them sitting on there. The couch there, but they talked about how bosses like Nex have in-depth lore behind them, but bosses like Virago or Araxi kind of have a lot of cliffhangers, no pun intended. But I remember personally when Virago came out, I was like, who is this? Like, I don't understand how this guy fits into the world of RuneScape. It was one of the first like intense bosses that had ever come into the game. I guess excluding maybe things like Corp. Cowfight King wasn't like intense as Virago was. Virago was like ridiculously intense when it first came out. And I didn't really understand why he was there. So it's nice to get a backstory on it. And I know that they're creating the backstory now, but it's cool to think about it being in the past even though it wasn't. But it's not going to be a high-end quest, even though Virago is a high-end boss. It's just going to be a story. There's not going to be any requirements unless they see that particular parts of the cutscenes and the quest itself require you to know certain things. Like Mod Ramen's bit you need the giant dwarf to be able to see that part. So you're going to definitely need the giant dwarf quest for this. But it's more like a Tales than a big quest, if that makes any sense. There will be cutscenes and, unfortunately, no spoilers. So next we have Mod Orion and Mod Stu, and they were working on the Arc improvements. And they don't want to call it a mini batch, but it's kind of mini batch. They changed a little bit to Sajobo's contracts. You can cut out the lower tier resource contracts if you wish. Also, once you have the Voyager title, you'll see icons from treasure chests on your Uncharted Islands, which is amazing. You don't have to, go through the whole island necessarily if you don't see that treasure chest icon. Resource bars above bamboo and wobbegongs, and also timer bars to allay crablets. They fixed a render issue where I don't know if this was in the past or if they were doing this during the game jam, but they mentioned that there was render issues where resources were spawning on each other, like if there was a plank in a tree, which I do remember seeing something like that. But they also mentioned like a rock on a Maui head or something like that, and they said they fixed it. So that's good. They also added this, and this is really cool. They added to the first page of the Ark Journal the resources on your claimed island and a check mark if you've completed them already for the day. So all you'll have to do is open up your Ark Journal, see if you've done it for the day, and that way you don't actually have to go to your island, pay the extra 3, resources to get there, etc., etc. So really cool quality of life improvements as all of these updates, and I think it's awesome. And then lastly, we have Mod Harrison, and this was the big one, the Aura bag, and it's actually going to be, it's not just going to be a bag that you put auras in. It's going to be a bag, and you can't take the auras out. They're going to be in there forever, and it's going to refactor how auras work as a whole. You'll wear it in your aura spot slot, and you'll just activate it through there. I don't know how it's gonna work. It seems a little complicated. I don't really want to see all my friggin' auras. There's gonna be a favorites drop down, as you see in the background, but I hope they do this one justice, because it's been something we've wanted for a long time. And as with things like that, we definitely want them to be right. So, but it looks really cool. And the way the bags work is undecided. They still don't really know, but they did want to show us the proof of concept and show the team at Jagex how it's going along. And so that's gonna wrap up today's episode of the Game Jam. And I don't know if they're gonna be doing one tomorrow. If they are, I will definitely be making a video on it. But stay tuned. Tomorrow is gonna be definitely a Mondays episode. Anyway, well, not definitely, because sometimes they don't do updates, but if there's an update, there will be a Mondays, but guaranteed there's going to be a video tomorrow. Anyway, so thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Peace. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you have a great day. Follow me on social media and subscribe for more. Peace.
Lions roaring in the morning sun, searching for a longer day. People feel